Okay, welcome back. So we're going to be doing today a couple different things. Hopefully we can finalize some of these bug fixes. So if we take a look, at our notes here, we'll see that we've got 3 things for this episode. It's going to be ensuring our pterodactyl doesn't die when player 1 dies when we're in 2-player mode, because right now, every time player 1 dies, the ptero disappears. And then in 2-player mode, we don't game over until both players are out of lives. Right now, just if player 1 is out of lives, it'll be game over, but if it's 2-player mode, 2-player can still live on past player 1, so we got to make sure as long as both players are at live 0, then it's a game over, I guess. So we got to do that, and then we got to just do some overall testing for our game over in 2-player mode, because the way I did it is kind of prone to bugs. So let's check it out. So right there, we've got 5 lives for player 1, 5 for player 2. Now I'm gonna try to die as player 1. So that I can show the error that we're trying to fix. Okay, so yesterday we added that we can have 0 lives, and that means we're on our last life. So now we have 0 lives, but we're alive. So now if we die again, then player 1 is for sure dead. Okay, so I'm just trying to die as player 1 here. Okay, see how it's game over, yet player 2 is still alive. So that's what we're trying to fix today here. So let's get to it. Okay, and then it gives us our both player scores, and allows us to restart the game. So let's take a look in our play state, and we'll go to where player death is. Player respawn, okay. So this is it right here. We're setting our game over to be true if our lives are 0 by the time we die. So we need to change this. If it's 2-player mode, this is fine for if it's player 1 mode. But we need to do something a little different for player 2 mode. So now we've got, okay, so yeah, we're doing it a little differently here. Player 2 respawn, player 1 respawn. I'm gonna put player 2 respawn up here with player 1. Okay. So here's the lives is equal to 0, still spawning. We need to do that for player 2. So if by the time we die and our lives are 0, that means we're dead. So instead of swapping our game over to be true, I'm gonna say player 2 game over gets true. Now we'll have to instantiate this up at the top. And then same thing with here. We can do a player 1-player mode only for this, but we have to make sure we do the player 2 as well. So like if player 1 game over gets true, player 2, game over gets true. So that's our 2-player mode here. If it's 2-player mode, okay. And then if it's 1-player mode, let's add the 1-player mode right here. So we're going to say if not 2-player mode, then go ahead and do this old logic. Well, actually, hold on. If it's single player, go ahead and do this logic, and then this actually turns back into just game over. Game over camel case gets true if it's not 2-player mode. So then player 2 mode, 2-player mode deaths. We got to do this similar thing, but if 2-player mode, and then this is where we switch that boolean of player 1 on game over, which we still need instantiate at the top as false. So we'll go ahead and give it to us here. Player 1 game over gets true. Okay, we're at our 0 lives. Okay, so if we have more than 0 lives, we're going to decrement our lives. Set a new legal spawn index and then spawn us. As long as we're greater than or equal to 0, we're going to give us a new ostrich. So let's give us these player 2 game over. So after we do this, we can say, oh my god, okay. After this, we can say, hey, if player 1 game over and player 2 game over, then we're going to go ahead and set game over to be equal to true. And then that'll trigger our timer. That triggers our high score state. Yeah, right here. Okay. So we need to instantiate these as false up here at the beginning. And then every time we reset the game, so maybe every time in our high score state, we reset these to become false again. So let's just make sure, hey, we'll put it up here, whatever. So we need a player 1 game over gets false. And then a player 2 game over gets false as well. Now we need to reset these once we game over. So what we can do is just say, hey, we flush them right there. And then in 2-player mode, if 2-player mode, then we're going to do this check for if both players are dead. And if so, that's when we trigger the game over. 1 player is dead, we don't want to do that. So give that a shot. We'll see in 2-player mode how many times. Let's see. And I'm not even responding. So something's going on here. If not 2-player mode, we don't have to say that. We just do this. So this is where we're actually, that was messed up. Up here, if not 2-player mode, we don't have to do that. Not 2-player mode, go ahead and do that. Let's see if we respawn in 1-player mode. I think we will. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. We respawn in 1-player mode. It's just that. In 2-player mode, let's see if player 2 respawns. We do. Player 2 is fine. But player 1 doesn't respawn. Okay, so what's going on? Two-player mode, player one respawn. Here we go. If not two-player mode, this should be if two-player mode actually. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That should be it. So let's see if we respawn. Yep, we're respawning. So now I'm gonna see if I can die faster than the computer, which is proving to be difficult. Don't kill him, don't kill him. Okay. Okay, this is my last life, so player one should die here. Okay, and it doesn't respawn and I'm still able to play, so that looks like it. So now the moment of truth is when player two loses the last of his life. He should still be able to play with 0 lives, meaning he's on his last life. Okay. That's not right. Okay. So let's just make sure. Greater than or equal to 0. I think that's the bug here. Because we're going to only reinstantiate that. Well, when do we... Yeah, we minus lives here. If lives is equal to 0 and we die, go ahead. See, and this is it. We don't want to decrement. We don't want to decrement our lives. We don't want to decrement our lives if we only have 0. So that's the bug. And then if we have greater than or equal to 0, we respawn. I don't think that's quite right. Let's see, our player 1 respawn greater than or equal to 0. Yeah, I think we... Lives is 0. Okay. Let's walk through here. So it's like, we die, right? Player 1 dies. We send the ptero to the graveyard. We reset the ptero timer. If we have 0 lives and we die, we're game over. This should only happen if we're exploded and our timer is like that. We're going to become game over gets true. So I guess if we have more than 0 lives, we're going to decrement our lives, set a new point for us to spawn at, and then, see, I don't think I like this. I don't like this else block here, down here. If our lives is greater than or equal to 0, we go ahead and reinstantiate. I'm going to say if we're... So like, let's say we have 0, yeah, if we have 0 lives and we die, game over gets true. Then it exits this block, and then it never comes back. Actually, I think we need to do something like this. I think we need to say right here, if our lives are 0, we're gonna send ourselves to the graveyard. Lives doesn't need to be equal to 0. We're just going to send ourselves to the graveyard, and player 1 game over gets true. And actually, what happens if game over is true? We don't do anything to our ostrich. So I feel like sending it to the graveyard is fine. game over becomes true, that's fine. We have more than 0 lives. We're going to decrement our lives, respawn us, and when we respawn us, if we have greater than or equal to 0 lives, see, we wouldn't have equal to 0 because this is equal to 0. So if we have greater than 1 lives, greater than 0 lives, we're going to go ahead and respawn, and then I don't think we need this else. Because we're only going to be respawning if we have more than 0 lives. But when we have 1 life and we die, it'll become zero lives. And then we won't respawn at 0 lives. So maybe we do this just before. What did I do? Okay, well, if our lives is 0, we're gonna game over. That's just for player 1 mode. So let's see if that works. If we say this, we do this. Excuse me. We go here. We respawn first before we decrement our lives. Let's see if player 1 mode is kind of working like that. So we've got 5 lives. Getting good at dying. Okay, 0, we spawned. And then game over. So it looks to be working. So we can do this, get rid of that else block, and just do our live reinstantiation before our decrement. Because if we have 0 anyway, we're going to become game over, send us to the graveyard anyway. And we don't decrement. So it would stay at 0. So yeah. Player 2 mode. If 2-player mode, we're going to do the same kind of thing where we're going to say not if greater than or equal to, we're just going to say greater than 0, and we need to do this before we decrement. And then decrement our lives, and then get rid of the else, but take this send to graveyard upon our lives being equal to 0, and then I think that's good. Okay, and then let's do the same thing for player 2. If we're greater than 0, and then we actually want to copy the index here and do this before our decrement. Okay. And then we don't have the else. See, that's better. And then we'll send our player 2 to the graveyard here. Okay. Okay. Let's see if player 2 is kind of working like that. So let's just test player 2. Oh, that was my bad. I hit V, which respawns our vultures. Okay, 2-player. We're gonna move player 1 out of the way, and we're just gonna try to die. Okay, so far so good. So we should be able to have 0 lives and still spawn as player 2 here. And then as soon as we have 0, okay, so we're still playing, and then when we die, we should have 0 lives and player 1 is still able to play. Cool. Okay. Okay, so we should be able to get 0 lives. We have 1, 0. Okay, so now we should be able to get a game over here. Nice. We're not getting negative lives anymore. It's a 3-second gap. It shows the player 1 and player 2 score. So let's just double check, make sure our player 1 mode is working appropriately because we changed some stuff. Should be the same thing. Once we get to 0 lives, we can still play. But then once we die from there, it's game over and we go to the high score state. Okay. Here we go. So at 0 lives here, we should still be able to... Damn it. Here we go. I'll die right here. Okay, 0 lives, we're still able to respawn, and then the next death should be game over. Cool. We're at a 0 life, 3 seconds worth, and then it's showing the proper player 1 high score. And if you don't get a high score, if you don't beat the 10th score, you just get to witness it. You don't get to input your score, but you can always play again. So let's make sure that our spawning is working on the play again, because we have those 2 booleans that we set, player 1 game over and player 2 game over. And if those aren't reset properly, we can't get a game over. I love how when I'm trying to die, I just kill them all. Okay. Okay. And game over? Okay. Okay, cool. So I think we did it. I'm gonna maybe... Let's take a look at our notes here. So in 2-player mode, don't game over till both players are out of lives. We did that. Test game over for 2-player mode. We did that. So what's next is to ensure that our pterodactyl doesn't disappear when player 1 dies when we're in 2-player mode. So right now it does. So if we check our play state and we go to when our monster dot exploded, I think it is. Oh, it's probably, yeah, it's probably Monster Graveyard. So there should be a line that says if we're dead, if player 1 is dead, send the monster to the graveyard. I'm not seeing it though. I think it's under pterodactyl. Ptero, let's just see, ptero spawn. It should be called ptero death or something like that. Send, oh, here it is. Oh, you know what? I kind of added something over here already. So we're saying if it's 2-player mode, then if our player 1 is exploded, we're going to reinstantiate the pterodactyl to be dead and up in the graveyard, so to speak. And if we have 0 lives, we're going to send us to the graveyard. Okay. This is literally the same lines we were just modifying. So we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this here. If it's 2-player mode, the pterodactyl needs to be alive. If it's player 1 mode, let me think. If it's player 1 mode, we do this and send the pterodactyl to the graveyard. But that is a spot up here. If not, yeah. So this is where we send it upon only player 1 death. So let me say that, upon player 1 death. If it's 2-player mode, we don't send these out. We don't respawn our pterodactyl to the graveyard unless both players are dead. If it's 2-player mode. Because if the pterodactyl kills 1 player, we want the pterodactyl to still be able to fly around. So maybe we just get rid of this. So I'm kind of curious, like, does the pterodactyl, let me just make sure we don't have this in another spot, which we don't. We reset the ptero timer if that shouldn't deinstantiate it though. So let's see. I'm gonna see if in 2-player mode we get the ostrich to come out, or the pterodactyl to come out. Let's see. So I want to be player 1, and we're hopefully not going to kill any of these guys so that we can get the pterodactyl to come out. Now, actually, the best way to get the pterodactyl to come out is to have only 1 vulture alive. That would make the fastest pterodactyl spawn. So let's do that. Okay. We won't kill this guy. So I think in 15 seconds the pterodactyl should come out, and then what we're trying to see is if the pterodactyl kills me, the player 1, see if the pterodactyl still is alive and still flies around screen. Because in oh my. Okay, so pterodactyl's on screen. He's roaring. Oh god. Okay. Here, I'm curious if I kill this thing. It does. Okay. Okay. That's because it was the last one. So I'm curious if you kill the last vulture on screen, the pterodactyl disappears, but I'm kind of curious if you get the pterodactyl out with 2 vultures on screen, if killing 1 vulture will deinstantiate the pterodactyl there. So let's see. What am I doing? I should have left that guy alive. Okay, well. Okay, we're gonna try to leave 2 alive, and then see the pterodactyl come out. I'm gonna freaking die here. Okay, I'm gonna let that one hatch so we have 2 alive. So pterodactyl should come out in maybe 15 seconds, so we'll see. All right, flatulence knocker. I'll take that into consideration. Is that a button press, or is that an animation, or what, for the killing the vultures via farts? Okay, pterodactyl should come out soon here. Pterodactyl should be out by now. There we go. Okay, so if I kill a vulture, does that deinstantiate the pterodactyl? Uh-oh. It does not. But if you kill the last one, it will. So, I think that's how the original is. Yeah, okay, we'll get the we'll get the animation locked in there for the fart killing. Right now I have it so that it is the nuclear option. We have that, so if you press N, it's actually the nuclear option, which nukes them like that, kills them all. But we are slacking on the animation for that. Okay, I don't think we need this. And actually, yeah, I don't think we need that. So once the pterodactyl's out, I guess the only way to get rid of it is to kill all the last vultures. I think that's fair, if it's in two-player mode. If it's in one-player mode, by the time the pterodactyl kills player one, then pterodactyl's gone and it resets the pterodactyl spawn timer and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and just clean up some of this, because I think we're good. I think that's all we needed to do. We take a look at our notes. We got our three things accomplished here. So we got to figure out what we're doing in the next episode, because we're actually like within an episode or two of finishing. Yeah. So flatulence knocker. The it's the Twitch whatever code of conduct that you can't make your username fart. It's kind of rude, because that's the my starter Pokemon in what was the penguin? What was the penguin Pokemon? You know what I'm talking about? The big penguin Pokemon? That was my fart knocker. I named him that. This guy, yeah. Where's the third? This guy. That one right there. I had that guy named Fart Knocker. Okay, so next episode, you know, we've got all the stuff we wanted to do, because we only have these kind of optional things left, and it's like, you know, this is, I do want to try to do this. Find the source of the butt pixel for player one. That's what I'm calling this, this error where this, I don't know when it comes out, but if you look at the ostrich's butt, there, sometimes if I'm trying to do like a lot of stuff, that butt pixel will come out. And that's the hardest thing. There it is. See that butt pixel? It's like right above his butt. It's that yellow pixel. And that's because of the viewports. So if we look at the actual sprite, if we go here to our Joust repo pics, and we look at our player one sprite, the butt pixel is coming. The butt pixel is coming from the previous frame. So like when we're flapping here, the butt pixel is this yellow pixel. I don't know why this is so bad. This is... I don't know why it just keeps getting blurry here. Yeah. Preparation H does feel good. Okay. I don't know why it's getting all blurry like this. I'm gonna blame Linux. And you know what? I thought we had fixed this before. I thought we added in a little buffer pixel for that. Let's see if player 2 has it. I don't get why it's blurring out like this. Smooth images. Yeah, that's probably what's happening there. Okay. Yeah, so that's the butt pixel. And I think just when the computer is just too strained to do all the processing, it messes up a little bit. Because see how there's no gap there. So like the viewport is flush against here, but we're cycling through the frames who knows how many times a second, and then this butt pixel is peeking out. Let's take a look at our ostrich class, because I thought we had set like a no, we didn't. See, I thought we set like a little offset for our viewports so that it didn't do that. Like we give it one space of empty on the left side of every frame so that the butt pixel would disappear. It's kind of like a lame fix. I mean, it's like, I guess that's why it's doing it. I guess it's a game engine thing. I don't know where we're doing the... You know, I know we had this problem, and I thought we already fixed it. So maybe that was another game I was working on that I did that for. Because I normally build in that buffer pixel, and every time I align these viewports, see, like this, we're doing this set viewport of X offset. What do we set our X offset to? 1 pixel. So I guess if we look at our sprite again, our very leftmost pixel should be blank. It's not though. So I think we're messing up. I think we're missing 1 pixel off our butt at all times. This whole time I was thinking that the problem was 1 pixel too many on our butt, but it's actually 2 pixels too less on our butt. Isn't that the great irony? I think so. Let's see. It should have 2 pixels of that dark butt. Oh, it has it. It's got it. It's got a full butt. See that butt pixel, man. See the butt pixel upon flapping. Now, it doesn't always do it. See how it's like, it's actually flashing in and out right there. That butt pixel. I'm just drinking iced coffee. See that butt pixel, man. Okay, so I do want to fix that. I do want to fix that. So why don't we go ahead and try to fix that? So what we need to do is copy our player atlas. Now we've got a couple different player atlases. We've got, oh, and you know what? We've got a player atlas 2, and a player 2 atlas. So maybe we already have the fix in here. Let me just see the difference between, this is our player atlas. Looks like no pixel buffer. And then our player atlas 2. Is that a pixel buffer? It is. It is. That is a 1 pixel buffer. So we did already do this. So, oh, but see, this is the butt pixel. Now, I guess the question is the butt pixel on the wings down or the wings up animation? We do have a buffer in there though, because we're using a player atlas 2. So if we check, I believe if we check in our main, we check our drawables, it should be that player atlas 2. Yeah. Yeah, player 1 atlas is player atlas 2, and that's the one with the buffer. So I guess I'll try to see if we can tell if the butt pixel's on wing down or wing up. It looks like wing up, yeah. And it's only, why is it doing that? It's not even when, and it seems to be, yeah, only wing up is the butt pixel. And you know what, if you look at anytime I flap, his kind of front lance kind of retracts a bit. So that means on wings up, his lance is 1 pixel kind of forward, and that might be where we didn't account for the butt pixel buffer. I don't know. It does look like we have space there. So yeah, see, and that's the X offset I set in the viewport. So that's what I thought was going to be fixing that, but we do have a pixel gap there. So either we need like a 2 pixel gap. See, and I don't like doing that. Like I don't like having to do that because we shouldn't have to do that. So maybe there's something in the viewport rendering when we're in the air that is just that the engine's not liking so much. Let's just take a look at our ostrich class here. So all of this set viewport, if we say set viewport, that'll show up all of our, we have 14 set viewports. So that's beginning, that's spawning. Okay. So it's maybe right here under the if self.flapped. Self.width times 6 for the X offset. Oh, you know what? I think we need to add our X offset. Yeah, because we're setting our X of our viewport. Oh, you know what? The X offset is right here, this plus 6. So if we tweak this a bit, we should be able to worsen or get better that butt pixel, potentially. If self.flapped and if player 1, okay. Let me see if we change this offset by 1, if that helps our butt pixel problem. Oh, I still see it. I still see it. Yeah, do you see it there flashing on his butt? Let's see if we increase it 1 more. This is like the not so glamorous debugging, fixing butt pixels, you know? It doesn't look like it's there anymore, but it looks jacked up. Like, see how off it is when we flap? That's because of the X offset being messed up. Oh, and we got butt pixel back. See how we kind of like... So maybe we go the opposite direction. That I would think that would actually make it worse. Yeah, that's pretty apparent butt pixel. Wow, yeah, it's really bad. I think it has something to do with this, though. It's got to be the X on the viewport. So frame 1 has a 1 pixel offset. Frame 6 would have a 6 times its own width offset plus 1 pixel for every frame. So that's why I had the times 6 plus 6. But that's giving us the butt pixel. It flapped. And you know what? It's actually not here. I really don't track any issues on Git. I just have a notes file like this. A notes file just in the project. And I just kind of have it right there. So what's cool is like I got this hooked up to Harpoon, so it's like I'm in NeoVim right now, but I've got all my shortcuts here, so like I can tag all of these different files I want to navigate to quickly. I also got the fuzzy finder to be like, oh, I want to go to main. Boom, I can go to main. That's the kind of current setup. So like anytime I want to see my notes, it's just one button press away. I can go see the notes right there. So that's what works for me. I don't really do much on Git other than use it as a backup for all my code and to share it. So if we go back to our ostrich state here, the butt pixel is actually appearing whether or not we're flapping or not. So I think it's in the, not in the flapped, but in the airborne. Where do we set airborne? If not grounded, I guess that's all right here. Okay, so maybe this is the butt pixel fix. Let's see if we change the player 1 X offset by 1 pixel, if that fixes our butt. See, that's... Oh, I saw it. I see it. It's better. Oh, I see it like... Oh, you know what? Maybe I... It is harder to see. It doesn't show when I'm falling. It just shows when I'm flapping, I think. Yeah. So what if we go and we change our flapping? We changed our butt pixel here to an extra. So let's change it for flapped. We'll give it that extra as well. And that should maybe make it work. Maybe when I made the sprite, I did accidentally add... That might be it. I don't see the butt pixel. Now I kind of miss it. I think that's it. I think when I made the sprite, I might have accidentally put two pixel gap in there, which... Well, I think that's it. Is that a... What is that sticker there? Fart knocker? What is that a... I thought it was Sal Vulcano from the Impractical Jokers. Okay, butt pixel fixed. Butt pixel fixed, and it looks like we're actually not offsetting our X position or anything. So I think that's good. Let's check for 2-player. Let's check for 2-player butt pixel. I think it's probably there too. Although it is a different sprite, so I might... Oh, there's a butt pixel. There's a butt pixel. See it? Okay, so let's go fix that for player 2, and then it's the same fix. We just give it one more on the X. one more X offset for that viewport of our sprite, and then maybe our butt pixel is done. Now that the butt pixel's gone, I miss it. No? Okay, butt pixel fixed. Okay, so right now we've got a 2-player mode. We got a tracked mode. We've got 25 waves of enemies. We've got high scores. So if you beat the high score, your file will save the high score. Then the next time you play it, it'll show up on the leaderboard with your initials. So yeah, here's the attract mode. I don't know if there's anything else I want to do. This might be the end of our Joust streaming. And then I'll be moving on to a new game, finally. This is one of my favorite parts here, is in the attract mode. By the time Shadow Lord's almost off, we get the pterodactyl flying in like that. I think that's cool. I mean, the plan for this game is just be done. It's on my website, so people can download fairly easily. So like, if anyone wants to play the game, all you gotta do is go to my website or GitHub. My website's got my GitHub on it, so I say go to my website because it'll show you how to install and play. So like right there, it's got Joust, it's got the source code, and if you go, okay, so it's actually on the README of my GitHub. So if anyone goes to my GitHub, they could download the folder right here, and it's got the instructions here. You just download the Love Game Engine at love2d.org. You download the repo for the folder, and then once this is installed, you just drag and drop the folder onto the Love application, and then it just runs. So the game engine is open source, and GitHub allows you to download all the stuff. So anyone can play it on their machine as long as their machine can run Love2D, which basically everything does. So like that's why when I'm in the terminal here, love dot actually runs our game, runs love in our current directory. All love does is look for a main.lua, and then love can run any folder with the main.lua in it. And the next game is gonna be so I'm gonna be trying to make a Name of the Wind video game. Now I already made TAC, so like if we go here, if we go into TAC, this was my final project for my Harvard CS50 course, and this is a board game from the book Wise Man's Fear. So they made it into a real game, so I knew what the real rules were. In the book they don't go over it too much, but so after I made this, I was like, you know what, I want to make more stuff from this universe and maybe put this in the new video game. But the new game is going to be a lot lower res than that. It's going to be like Link's Awakening. So like if you imagine Link's Awakening graphics of the original DX, I guess DX wasn't the original, but yeah. So I'm gonna do a Name of the Wind video game like this. So just basically exactly this, where very low resolution, so I can worry about the mechanics more so than the graphics, because I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty of stuff. But it'll be like this, Link's Awakening style graphics, but Name of the Wind video game. And then yeah, you can play Joust on Windows 95 probably. You might have to find a older version of Love 2D, but I bet it would work. Yeah, so that's gonna be the next game. We're coming up on that very soon. So I mean, we might be done. We might be done as of today. We found the source of the butt pixel. So that's good. Add pause for egg placement. We don't really need to do that. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. This is all like, when I look through the code where I'm like, that could be better, but it works. And I've been making this game for almost 2 years now, so I just want to move on. And yeah, just me on the game. I'm actually going to be doing like, in the book, they play the lute a lot. Well, one person plays lute a lot, and I'm going to be making like a lute hero in that game of Game Boy art style. So I'm already practicing how to write lute songs, so I can put them into the game. So that's gonna be the big one. But I also want, I should probably talk about this on the next stream when we start the game. But it's gonna be a little bit like Stardew Valley, where it's got a time mechanic. So like time passes, I want to have like dynamic lighting. Because like when I think about like Pokemon Silver and Gold, when it's at night, it's all dark blue, and then the bright yellows, that looks so pretty to me. So I think I can have like a dynamic lighting situation going on, so that the longer you play, whatever, it'll be nighttime, and then you get glowy little lanterns or whatever. So I'm excited for that. But I really don't think I've got anything left to do on Joust. Let me make sure we don't have a high score saved. Oh, I think we do. We do. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this high score. This is different on everyone's machine, but I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it so I don't have it. And then I guess we're done, man. I mean, I guess we're gonna go to we can clear up some of this stuff, like why is this all commented out? It's like, we just don't need that. We don't need a lot of this stuff. So like, maybe we can tidy it up. I'll probably just do that off stream, tidy up all the unnecessary comments and stuff, so that the repo has a nice clean thing to it, look to it. But yeah, we're about to start. So I mean, we're about to start. Tomorrow will be the first day of the new game. So what's different with the new game than this one is we have to keep track of, instead of like a stationary screen where the players are looping, it's gonna be like panels, right? So it's like, oh, we're at this square of the game, and then you walk off the side of the screen and it scrolls. So like, that's gonna be the hard part for the next game, because I've never done anything like that. Joust was easy in the sense that the background stays the complete same. It's just the players we gotta update. So yeah, the next game, I'm wanting, since I've got big ideas for it, I don't think it's gonna be faster than Joust, and Joust took me like 2 years. So I don't want it to be like it takes me 2-3 years to make one game. So I might break that up. That might be like my main project. And then every other month, I'll do a game in 2 weeks or something like that, so that I can get practice doing different things instead of building one thing really slowly. I'll do game jams so that I could be like, hey, this is this type of game, this is a Tetris game, this is a Snake game, this is a whatever, so I can practice the different styles. And that's one part of the new game. The Name of the Wind game is going to have mini games. So you walk into the tavern, maybe you play in your tack. You can play tack at the tavern. I've already got tack made. It's not Game Boy graphics. You can't really do it in Game Boy graphics because reasons. It's because of the resolution. Like, so if we take a look at tack again, the thing about tack is in this real game, if you have the board game, there's no limit to how many stones you can stack upon one another. So, like, let's say we're gonna be stacking stones, but it's Game Boy graphics. So like on this game, it's okay because I've got X amount of resolution to work with. That one square can have up to 12 stones stacked, and you can still have the legibility to see what stones. And even if you have a capstone, so like let's say we have a capstone and we move a capstone on top of a stack, it dynamically sizes that capstone and it's still readable. You can still see, oh, the circular capstone's on the stack of 5, and you can see each layer. On a Game Boy game, there's not enough pixel resolution to be able to tell. So the Game Boy game might be like you walk to the tavern, you talk to the chronicler at the tavern or whatever, and he asks, hey, do you want to hear a story or do you want to play a game? And if you play a game, you play tag. And if you want to hear a story, it'll go back and it'll implement some of the story details from the book, and it'll put you back at the university. So like you time travel as young Kaboth in a totally different place, and you play the game, and you have two different kind of save files. You have like the present day, and then you have like the chronicler imagining or retelling of the story. So that's what I'm excited about for that next game. So why don't we just take a look at our Get Diff, because this is our last episode, I think, for Joust, because the only thing that's left is just little tidied up stuff, or if we find any bugs. So like, it would be helpful if anyone wants to download this game, try to find some bugs and try to break it so that I can, fix it and make it a little bit better. So it looks like most of what we did today is 4 things. We did, where's our butt pixel? Where is our butt pixel note? Hold on, this is important. Butt pixel. Dude. I think I just deleted it. I deleted it and I didn't paste it up here, which is not necessary, but I gotta say we fixed our butt pixel. So I'm gonna say fixed butt pixel for both players. Okay, now we've got that. Okay, now that most important thing is done, we can go ahead and do our last commit. So we're going to add everything to the staging area, commit message saying we did 4 things. We did our butt pixel, we did our game over for 2-player mode, we did our pterodactyl for 2-player mode. So let's say fixed game over for 2-player mode, and then fixed butt pixel. I'm a little hesitant to put butt pixel in the last commit on this, because if someone's reading it, potential person trying to hire me looks at my last commit and it says fixed butt pixel, I'd be proud of it, but maybe we say fixed aerial pixel bug for players. But we all know it's butt pixel. Fixed aerial pixel bug for players, and then there was another thing. Test game over. 2-player mode, don't game over. Ptero. Oh, pterodactyl. Yeah, that's right. So we had fixed pterodactyl deinstantiation for 2-player mode. Okay, and we're gonna push it. Okay, I think we're done. I mean, if anyone wants to download the game, try to find some bugs that would help me out so that I can come back and fix it. I've added all the stuff I want to do to the game. Let's just take a quick look at this, 389 commits. Here's the instructions on how to play. So if you want to play, follow those instructions on the repo here. And let's just take a quick look at our commits. So like if we go, I want to go to our last page of commits. Oh my God. There's got to be a better way to do this. Oh my God, there's got to be a better way to do this. Well, I don't know of a better way to do this. I want to see the oldest page. So we've got, God, 2 years ago, look at this. 2 years ago I was doing this. Initial commit, wow. 3 years ago. Yo, see ya, man. See ya, Fart Knocker. Thanks for tuning in. Wow. 3 years ago, this first commit. What date was that? You know what I want to do? I kind of want to take a look at what this old commit was. So let's take this commit hash, and what we'll do is I'm gonna make a new repo here. Let's go ahead and just do a new repo here. We'll say megdir old joust. CD into old joust. Now I'm going to git clone a joust repo. So www.github.com/findingfocus/joust.git. I don't need to do this. I'm just like a little afraid of overwriting some stuff. So if we do a git log, we can see all of our previous commits, right? So I've got this commit hash. So I say git reset --hard, and I put in that that commit hash. Head is now at title screen basic character input. So this is a 3 years ago. Woo! 3 years ago, Joust looked like this. That's why I love GitHub. Oh my God. Yes. So this is what Joust looked like 3 years ago when I first started making it. Look at this, man. Does it have looping back to back? It doesn't even, we don't even go looping. But 3 years ago, this was my first significant commit for Joust. And then now, if we go into our we can go into our into our new repo here and take a look at the difference. That's just awesome. So what a difference 3 years can make. But I think we're done for now. I think we're done. So go ahead and give it a shot. Go on the GitHub. I'll put the link to the repo in this stream's description box so you can go download it yourself. And if you would want to do some bug hunting for me or just play it, let me know your thoughts. That would be cool. It works on Mac, Linux, and Windows. I've tested those all myself. That's kind of why I like building in Love 2D. It's just they make it really easy and really portable. So I think this just about wraps it up. So I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next stream. Thanks for watching.